Hello children and welcome to the English class of Standard 7. Children, we all like to travel, don't we? But which journey do you like the best? I enjoy the journey by train. And why is it? Because I like the sound the train makes, and as it travels, I like everyone, even you. You must be fighting to sit together with your brother or sister or your family member to take this window seat, isn't it? Because we love to look outside and see the view that we can see, the scenery outside. You enjoy it, isn't it? What all do we see? What all do we see? If it is passing through a city, what will you see if it is passing through a city? Maybe you will see the tall buildings and a little bit of slum area also, hutments and all you see. And again buildings, then roads and the city traffic. You get to see, the place where the trains are moving and then the traffic has to railway crossings. So you may see traffic standing outside over there, waiting for your train to move. Then as you go ahead deep inside, like the train keeps moving, then as you enter villages, you will see fields. Far away you will see hills. And then you will see the trees. So many things. You will see birds sitting on the lines, the electricity lines. And everything you can see the poles, you pass by poles. Sometimes it goes through a tunnel and it's darkness over there. You see so many things and you enjoy all that, don't you? Yes. And that is what in this today what we are going to do is a poem written by the poet R.L. Stevenson, a poem who loved to describe. If you are a good reader and you love to read novels, you must have read his book, The Treasure Island. He has written The Treasure Island, Kidnapped, and many lovely books he has written which are very interesting. And this poem appeared in the poem that is on page number 22, 2.1. Page number 22, 2.1. From a railway carriage. Here he has described what you can see sitting in So in this poem, he has described what he must have seen sitting in a train, in a carriage. Carriage is like a compartment of a train. So sitting in the carriage of a railway, a train, what he seen outside, he has described. And as he is describing, if you see the words that he has used, the rhyming words he has used, and the rhythm of the poem, that is very, very interesting. In such an interesting way, he has written that the rhyming of the poem, the rhythm of the poem. Now, as I read, you will come to know what the rhythm is. So, first, I will just read the poem. It is written by R.L. Stevenson. A very good writer. His full name, Robert Louis Stevenson, a very good writer and novelist who has written such lovely novels and they are worth reading. If you ever, during this lockdown, if you can get the book online or anywhere, you should read The Treasure Island. You will enjoy it. So, from a railway carriage. Faster than ferries, faster than ditches, bridges and houses, hedges and ditches, and charging along like troops in a battle, all through the meadows, the horses and cattle. All of the sides of the hills and the plain fly as thick as diamond grain, and ever again in the wink of an eye, painted stations whistle by. Here is a child who clambers and scrambles all by himself and gathering brambles. Here is a tramp who stands and gazes, and there is the green for stringing the daisies. Here is a cart run away in the road, lumping along with man and load. And here is a mill, and there is a river, each a glimpse and gone forever. So you see that I deliberately said the poem in that rhythm, don't make you feel like you're sitting in the train and tug, tug, tuck, that sound of the train. You get that effect? Yes, the poet has specially written the poem in such a way that you get the rhythm of the train also. The movement of the train as you say the poem. Try at home to say the poem in a fast way and with the rhyming words like faster than ferries, faster than witches, bridges and houses, hedges and ditches, and charging along like troops in a battle, all through the meadows, horses and cattle. Get the feeling of the train? Are you getting it? Yes, that is what the poet has done over here. He tried to give the rhythm of the train in his poem. And as he's doing it, he's also describing it so beautiful. So, if you see in the first, one more thing I would like to tell you is the rhyming words and the rhyming scheme. A new concept I want to explain to you, that is a new concept of rhyming scheme. You have heard rhyming words. You know, you can know in the poem when your question is asked, pick out the rhyming words. You'll know what that is, isn't it? Rhyming words like you will say like fairies and houses. They are rhyming because it is going fairies and houses, no, witches and ditches. If you see, they are rhyming, witches and ditches. Then again over the battle and cattle. Then in the next thing it is plain and rain. And then you have I and buy. Then in the fourth verse, it is scrambles and rambles. And in the next line, this thing it is gazes and daisies. And then in the last verse it is road and load and river and ever. So you see, you know how to pick out rhyming words. So in the first stanza, like you have witches and ditches. And then you have battle and witches and ditches, battle and cattle. These are rhyming words. But now I'm going to teach you a new concept which is very important in the classes that you are going to move ahead into 8th, 9th, 10th. That is the rhyming scheme. The question asked is, what is the rhyming scheme of this stanza, of a particular stanza? So let us take the first stanza. Now I am not writing the entire poem on the blackboard, but I am going to write the last words of every line in the first stanza. So in the first line you have fairies, then we have witches. The last words I am writing. Then you have witches, then along, then you have battle, meadows, and you have cattle. So these are only the last words of each line. Fairies, witches, ditches, along, battle, meadows, cattle. So of the first stanza and the lines, each line are written the last words. So now if you look at this. Oh sorry, I forgot over here. Fairies, witches, you have houses in between over here. You have houses. So you see you have houses which I did not write. So you have fairies, witches, houses, ditches, along, battle, meadows, cattle. So now as you see, over here we have witches and ditches, rhyming, battle and cattle, rhyming. Now whenever we are writing a rhyming scheme, we make use of the letters of the alphabet. The letters of the alphabet, you know, A, B, C, D, etc. E, F, G, H, whatever. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So these letters of the alphabet we use while writing the rhyming scheme of any verse given to us. So now here we begin with A. Now this is fairies, we say A. Now witches is not rhyming, isn't it? So we give another letter, that is B. Then houses, is it rhyming with anything with fairies? No. So we give it C. Ditches is rhyming with ditches, so it is B. So again we write B. So for the rhyming words we use the same letter. For the rhyming words, we use the same letter. Now that way, A, B, C, B. Now along a new word which is not rhyming with anything, so you will get D, the next letter. We finish with A, B, C, so next letter is T. Now battle is another word, so we give it E. We give the letter E. Now see, over here, meadows. Is it rhyming with anything? No. So again a new letter. Again a new letter which will become F. But now if you see, battle and cattle are rhyming. So cattle will get the same letter which is of the rhyming word E. So we have the rhyming scheme. So when we write the rhyming scheme of the first stanza, we will write it as A, B, C, B, E, A, B, C, D, E, F, E. This is how we will write it. A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. So the rhyming words get the same letters of the alphabet. The rhyming words get the same letter and those which are not rhyming get the other. Like A, C, D and F, they are not rhyming. A, C, D and F, these letters, those are not rhyming, so we get a different. So this is how we write the rhyming scheme of any poem or any stanza given to you. So if it asks for the next verse, then again you start with the next verse and we're using other letters. But only of one verse, so you start begin with A. Only one verse, begin with A. But if you go to two verses, then once you finish A to E, A, B, C, D, E, F. We have finished with F. So when you go to the next verse, you will begin with G. If they tell you of two verses together. Okay? But when they tell you of any one verse, this is the way we find the rhyming scheme. Looking at the last words of the poem and seeing whether there are rhyming words over there. So the rhyming words get the same letter of the alphabet and the others get another alphabet, a new alphabet every time. So we have A, we begin with A, then B, then C because it's a different word. C, not rhyming with A also, not rhyming with B also. But ditches rhyming with this, which is BB. Then again we start with a new letter, next letter, that is A, B, C we finish, so we begin with D. D, again over here, not rhyming with anything, so E. So again not rhyming, so F. Rhyming with this, so E again. Got it? This is called the rhyming scheme of the poem. So again, we will see. So when we said the rhythm of the poem was what? What was the rhythm of the poem? The rhythm of the poem was like the movement of a train. The rhythm of the poem was just like the movement of the train, the sound that the train makes. That the sound, that is the rhythm of the poem. Now, I'll explain the poem verse by verse. So, we have the first verse. Faster than fairies, faster than riches, bridges and houses, hedges and ditches. And charging along like troops in a battle, all through the meadows, the horses and cattle. So, here he is telling that how the train is moving. It's moving so fast and how the things outside are moving. They are also moving so fast. You sat in a train. How do the things move? So quick it is. So quick. As the train is moving, the faster the train, the faster the things move backwards. You see them moving backwards, isn't it? It's not moving forward with you. Do you see? Because you're leaving all the things behind. Can you see them again? Even if you want to? No. Just leaving them behind. The things are moving behind as you're moving forward. That is what is happening, and it's happening so fast. So he's telling that faster than fairies, it's so faster even than fairies. Fairies are supposed to do everything quickly with a magic wand. It's so magical. That is why these use words of fairies and witches to show the magic of the movement. So fast it is. To show the magic, the poet has used words like fairies and witches. Witches and fairies are all magical, fairy tale characters, and that they always bring magic in life. Fairies also have a wand, witches also have a wand, and in a magic they can turn you into a donkey also. You know that, isn't it? So that is why to bring the magic effect over there of the movement, the poet has used words like fairies and witches. And what all are we passing by, we are just passing by. There are bridges going over there, houses moving over there, hedges are fences. So many things are just moving. And ditches all again, small holes like over there, ditch, low place where water can flow, ditches. So they're just going and charging along like troops in a battle. So how they're moving? Like soldiers, troops, soldiers. Troops in a battle. So like how the soldiers move fast in the battle, while they are going for a war in a battle. That way, these things are all moving back, all through the meadows, the horses and cattle. So and in the meadows, what is moving? There are horses and cattle, and meadows are what? Just grassy fields, big huge fields, grassy fields, meadows. So they are just moving, the troops, so everything that, and from here, what we have seen, and charging along like troops in a battle. Like troops in a battle. Now we did metaphor, isn't it? Did we do metaphor? And we did simile in the first poem that we did. If you turn your pages to page number 2 of your textbook, you will see simile. And we did a simile is an imaginative comparison of two different things using the words as and like. You remember? Yes? So here we have the figures of speech. I remember teaching it in the first poem that we did. On page number 2, if you have forgotten, in your textbook, page number 2, you will find the figures of speech telling us what a simile is and what a metaphor is. And in this poem now we've got a simile, where like troops and charging along, so all those things are compared to troops, to the soldiers. So like troops. So how they are going? Like troops in a battle. So here this is a simile. What is it? It is a simile. Because it uses the word like to compare. To compare. Similarly, it uses words like the word like, and the other word also it can use it as big as, or as small as good as. So such a thing is also used to compare. But here we have the word like troops symbol. So you can underline that line and write next to it. You can write simile. And charging along like troops in a battle. That is a simile. And then all through the meadows and the horses and cattle. Now if you look at the first line also, faster than fairies, faster than witches. Fairies faster. Faster and faster are repeated, so it is a repetition. You can underline and write over there repetition. Faster than fairies, faster than witches. And another thing it is, we did this also when I taught you on the poem, it is alliteration. When I taught you on the poem, the second poem, I taught you what is alliteration and what is repetition. So here we have alliteration, where it is I'm writing the spelling of alliteration. Alliteration and repetition. So here in this, the F sound is repeated. Fairies, faster is repeated, and repetition. Why? Because the word faster is also repeated. The next stanza. All the sides of the hill and the plain fly as thick as driving rain, and ever again in the wink of an eye paint its stations whistle by. So you see, all of the sides of the hill and the plain. So what all he can see? He can see hills moving, plains moving. And how are they moving? Fly as thick as driving rain. So just like the rain, how that driving rain. What is driving rain over here? Heavy rainfall. As in a storm, it just keeps falling, pouring. It looks like one when you see it falling down, isn't it? Big, like as if somebody's poured a bucket of water when it is heavy, raining heavily. So you can't see small drops of water. So heavy rain. So just like that, how it is looking. Similarly over there, the plains and hills are moving so fast. And how are they moving? They fly. They are almost flying as thick as driving rain. As thick as. So you see, again what have they used? As thick as driving rain. As thick as driving rain. So what are you going to underline that and write? Simile. Underline that line and write simile because it is as thick as. So it is again a comparison using words like and as dash as. So you have another simile over here. Another simile. You can underline and write simile over there. Fly as thick as driving rain and ever again in the wink of an eye. And so fast it is. Okay, so it continuously every now and then, after every, in the when the train moves, some stations it stops, some stations it just passes by. So like that, just a wink of an eye, so quick. Wink of an eye is an expression used to say anything done very quickly. Because just a wink, hardly can you notice it. It is just so quick, it takes a fraction of a second for it. So that way, that quick it is. The stations also painted stations, all the stations which are looking so colorful sometimes, they are also passing by. And how do they? Whistle by. So they just whistle by. The whistling of the train also is over there, and as well as over here you can also say as if the painted stations are whistling. So here you can say what I taught about this one also, it is personification. Because the act of whistling has been given. So one more we have what now over here is you can underline painted stations whistle by. You can underline painted stations whistle by, and because a whistling action has been given to the stations, you can call it is the figure of speech used as personification. Okay, all of the sides of hill and plain. So again, the poet is describing that so fast everything is moving. Everything is moving so fast. And then what else he sees outside? He sees here is a child who clambers and scrambles. Here is a child who clambers and scrambles all by himself and gathering brambles. So these are just people that he is seeing outside. He sees a child over there. What is the child doing? He's climbing, just climbing up some hill maybe. And scrambles, and again it is climbing quickly with both hands and legs. So both the clambers and scrambles mean almost the same. Where clambers means climb up and down in an awkward way. In an awkward manner. And over here we have scrambles, climb quickly using both hands and climb quickly. Using both hands and legs, holding on to something, the rocks and all. And what is the child doing? He is alone over there gathering brambles. Gathering brambles, brambles is a bush. A bush with telling a bush with thorns. So he's just going and moving about. Just a child playing along on the next to the railway tracks, and that's what the writer poet has seen. And then we have, here is a tramp who stands and gazes. A tramp, a person without a home. You can write beggar. Also, a tramp is also a beggar. Beggar, or a person who wanders, a person who just moves here and there, wanders, who doesn't have a house. So the person who is wandering is over there standing and looking into the train. You find some beggars and all just staring into the train. So that is what over there. Here is a tramp who stands and gazes. Gazes, just stare. Gaze is to stare. Gazes, gaze, stare. And there is the green for stringing the daisies. So there is the green. So just like how the daisies are looking like, together as if they are tied to a string. Stringing means making a chain. So all the flowers in a line, those daisies, flowers, they are kind of flowers. So over there you feel like they are just all in a string, tied together. And that is what the poet, the green, there is the green for stringing the daisies, as if the green is all the greenery is joining these flowers and making a string out of it. Next stanza, here is a cart run away in the road, lumbering along with man and load. And here is a mill and there is a river, each a glimpse and gone forever. So here is a cart. So these again everything that we see, a cart on the roadway, and in the cart it is lumping along, move heavily, lumping along. Move heavily. So here is a cart and here is a mill and there is a river. Each a glimpse and gone forever. Each a glimpse, just a little look over there, just a small tiny look and it's gone forever. Glimpse is a quick look. Glimpse, a quick look and it's gone forever. So you see this poem over here, yes? So there are many poems written on trains and journeys. You can look for one, I will tell you, look on the net and read it. Okay, I'm writing the name of that poem, Night Mall. This is another poem of a train journey. Read it. That is kind of your homework. Night Mail by W.H. Auden. Read this, look for this poem on the internet and read. That's like a homework. Okay, so what we have learned about the poem is it has a rhythm of a train. Then we see the rhyming scheme A, B, C, B, D, E, F and again E. Got it? So that we have. Yes? And then we learned about the figures of speech. The figures of speech are not there now, but we learned the figures of speech. We have over here simile, alliteration, personification are the main ones and repetition. These four were the main ones which we see. Thank you children. Read the poem and learn it.